and welcome back, guys, to episode 7 of my F1 1990s career mode, guys. And I can only apologise that it has been a couple of weeks since the last episode, guys. So, you know, if you have forgot what did happen last time out, guys, I would highly recommend going back and checking out that video. But here today for the German Grand Prix, back at the Nürburgring. Actually, one of the tracks that I sort of like, I sort of don't. It depends really on the cars I am driving, but I'm currently down in P4 overall in the standings, just 2 points behind Alain Prost, if I'm not mistaken. But the top two have got a huge breakaway at the moment, and I can only hope that we can try and catch the two top drivers of Damon Hill and Nigel Mansell, if I'm not mistaken, have got a hugely commanding lead as we come to near enough the midpoint now of the season. And luckily for me, it's actually mainly tracks that I do like right to the very end of the season, guys. But let's move on then into the German Grand Prix. It's going to be interesting to see how well we will fare at this German Grand Prix, guys. But having a look at the grid, we have got Nigel Mansell on the pole, Michael Schumacher, my teammate, down in P6. That is home Grand Prix. And there is myself, Gerhard Berger, down in P9 overall, on the grid, ready for this German Grand Prix, guys. But 5 lights ready now to kick off this race. And it's the lights out, and away we go. And we're going to flick the car up into rich mix there. Actually gone with a lot of fuel to start off this race, but we've got off to a very good start as we try and have a look around the outside of absolutely everybody. Down towards someone here, Mansell on the outside there. Irvine braking a little bit cautiously as well as we make a tiny bit of contact with my teammate Michael Schumacher there. But Hill and Villeneuve, I think that is, on the outside. Both run massively wide. We go down the inside of Villeneuve, dive it down the inside of Damon Hill. Hopefully now for the lead of the Grand Prix. It'll give us the inside through turn 4 there and the end of that first little complex there. But side by side still with Damon Hill. But fortunately for me, he does back out as we go in towards the next corner there. And now up into the lead of the German Grand Prix, guys. You can just see at the end of lap 2 there, we are actually got a little bit of a gap to Hill behind me there. We've managed to get about a 1 second breakaway. Don't have to worry about DRS as well, which, you know, just gives me a little bit of greater ease there as we get the fastest lap as well of the Grand Prix for now, guys. We're skipping on now to the end of lap 4 and coming through the final hairpin once again there. And we just, unfortunately, have a little bit of a correction on the rear end there. Dip one of the wheels in the gravel, and that might give Damon Hill a bit of a run down towards turn 1 here. What is he able to do? He looks towards the inside there, but thinks better of it down in towards the braking zone there. So I hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix for now. Hill goes purple on a 35.9 there, just about breaking into the 35s there. But he's feeling very, very confident at this moment of time as I go through an almighty save through turn 3 there, you know, just on full opposite lock. But we managed to hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix right up until our pit stop there. So obviously very, very happy with that. Getting the car slowed down quite nicely down in towards there. But Michael Schumacher, now my teammate, actually leads the Grand Prix there. So he is looking very, very good in this race to hopefully bring home this Ferrari team a good haul of points there, guys. Changing now on to the set of the prime tyres to take us right to the very end of the Grand Prix there. And we do stay out in the lead of, in the net lead, sorry, of the Grand Prix there. P6 at the moment in time, but hopefully by the end of this lap, obviously we should be able to come back out overall in the lead of this race. But as we come through the first complex once again, we can just see Ralf Schumacher there, further up the road. But I'm sure, Jeff, we probably won't have trouble there catching up to Ralf Schumacher there, guys. You can see coming to the end of lap 8 here, round the final corner once more and down towards the line, and just have a look at the top left-hand side. We should end up back up in the lead of the Grand Prix, which we do so quite comfortably there. My teammate Schumacher, though, still looking very, very handy up in P3 at this moment in time during the race. But Damon Hill still piling on the pressure. He wants another win to add to his tally there. But over and wide, going through turn 2 there, that is definitely not what I wanted there. Hill has a look down the inside of me through turn 3 there. It will leave us on the inside of turn 4. But he still tries to hold it right around the outside there. Thinks better of it at the very last moment there. And we still are able to hold on to the lead of this German Grand Prix for now, guys. As we dive it through the second sector here. Probably one of my favourite sectors of this track. You know, you've got a lot of long flowing corners and then obviously down towards this fairly tricky to navigate hairpin there as Hill could just see popping up on my radar there. But coming now through the end of lap 9, down towards the line, we run wide into the gravel once again there. That'll give Hill a perfect opportunity as he has a look down around the outside, down towards someone here. And I am not willing to give up this Grand Prix yet. I'm going to re-dive it down his inside in towards turn 1 there. He's going to hold it on the outside. I'm going to lose the back end ever so slightly, get all over the grass, somehow keep it facing the right direction there. But Damon Hill now leads the Grand Prix, and he is in a far quicker car than my own here, so we really need to pile on the pressure as we come through the rest of this lap. You know, I can't afford to give him, over sort of a 1 second window over myself, guys. You can see we've only got 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix as well, though. So, if we do get close back in on him, we don't have too long as well to make the move. But Damon Hill already pulling out an 8/10 margin in that first sector, and you can just see how difficult it really is to compete with the Williams car there. It's just so quick around, every single track on the calendar. You can see how it basically dominated the Formula 1 season it was in. It just means that it has got absolutely a brilliant chance to take home another race victory here. But diving it through the end of the second sec here, through this nice third gear flat out chicane there, guys. You can just see we're still only 8/10 back from Damon Hill here. So, we haven't lost out too massively as of now, but hopefully we can try and line up a move very shortly there. But coming through the final chicane there, and Hill absolutely parks it there. Not too sure what that was all about. I'm not going to take the position just yet because, I kind of give him a bit of a push there, but he had absolutely parked it through that final chicane there, guys. But coming now through the final corner of the lap, and we are in the slipstream of Damon Hill. There's sparks flying from both of our cars, but we're going to have a look down the inside in towards turn 1. They're late on the brakes, nearly run it into the back of him there. We run massively deep into the corner there. Hill tries to defend from it on the inside there, but we've got the inside line for turn 2. We re-inherit the lead of the German Grand Prix there, and I won't lie, that lap was very panicky. I thought Hill might just be able to run away with it there, so we had to pounce on any opportunity we were given there, guys. But fuel is looking good at this moment of time as well, and come the end of lap 15 there, and Hill actually ran into a couple of problems fighting with Jacques Villeneuve, which unfortunately left him trailing a little bit further behind. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a good view of that now, but we've got Villeneuve still sort of applying the pressure. He's within a second of his half second back as we come through the final few corners of this Grand Prix, just with the final tricky chicane to navigate and then the final corner. And we could be looking at our very first victory in this F1 1990's career mode, guys. It's been a long time since we've gone this far into a career mode without taking a victory, but round the final corner we go to come through to win the German Grand Prix. So obviously massively happy that we have finally been able to come through to take our first win of the season. We nearly had one at Imola a few weeks back, guys, but unfortunately it was not meant to be after some interesting track limits by myself. I won't deny that. But we come through to win with my teammate Michael Schumacher there doing very well to come through on the podium as well there. So we'll be able to take home 40 points for the F310 team, obviously in the Ferrari part of the standings, guys. Because Jacques Villeneuve there, unfortunately, ruining a 1-2 finish there. Eddie Irvine comes through in a solid P4 there, and Damon Hill all the way down in P5 in the end there. He will not be happy with that. David Coulthard, 6th place there. Jody Scheckter there down in P7. Alain Prost, one of my close rivals coming into this race, unfortunately, will be a long way back now. Nigel Mansell having an appalling showing there. We went from 9th to 1st. He went from 1st to 9th there. Jean Alesi, the final point scorer there, and Ralf Schumacher and Ivan Capelli once again there. The two drivers unfortunate not to end up taking any points home from that Grand Prix there. But we are very happy with the win in that race. Starting from P9, remember, we had an absolutely brilliant start. We managed to have a look right around the outside and the track sort of opened up for myself, if you will. So we were able to come through quite nicely there to obviously gain a lot of positions right at the early stages of the Grand Prix. From 9th to 1st in the first sector of the track, we can definitely be very happy with that. But that should also give me a very helping hand in the driver's standings. You know, Damon Hill and Jacques Villeneuve still obviously will be a long way up the road, but you know, we've been able to close in 7 points on Villeneuve there and 15 on Damon Hill there. So hopefully in a second we will have a look at what the drivers' standings will look like now. And also, you know, we're still in a close battle with some other teams in the constructors as well, but 2 massive gains for the team after that Grand Prix there, guys. But having a look at the drivers' standings, and the gap now down to 47 points to Damon Hill there. So, you know, it's not impossible for us to still catch him up. You know, we've got 7 rounds to go in this season, so if we won every single race, we could actually come through still to take the championship by just 2 points over Damon Hill, if he were to come second every single race as well there, guys. But Damon Hill still leads the way ahead of Nigel Mansell there. Only 24 points between myself and Nigel there, and 23 points between him and Damon Hill there, guys. Eddie Irvine currently up into P4 as we've managed to make a little bit of a gap there. And having a look at the constructors, we are currently up into P3. They're still miles behind 2 of the Williams teams there. You know, the gap still definitely within reach to catch, guys. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you are new around here, and if you have enjoyed this episode of my 1990s career mode, guys. And I will hopefully see you next time for the Hungarian Grand Prix.